So basically a shadow, you were discovering what the core wound, the core initiation, the map of reality is created. You have an experience. You show up here, you're like, la, you're ready to go, and you run around naked and you're told, that's terrible, that's wrong, that's dirty. Or you are playing freely and being your own unique self and you're said, you're weird, you're strange. Or you're watching, you're expressing yourself and your parent is trying to control you. You have all the qualities available to you when you show up. Now there are karmic propensities and things like that, but as a general rule, you have all the qualities available. And you need both, you need all the polarities. You need selfish and selfless. You need greedy and giving. You need the masculine and the feminine, the positive and the negative. The positive and negative isn't negative. Negative is void. Positive is the charge. And together it creates the expression of movement, of action, and creates manifestation. You can't have a circuit without both polarities, right? If you try to plug in your battery with just the negative or just the positive, it doesn't work. You need both. Same with any polarity. Selfless doesn't work without selfish. Greedy doesn't work without giving. Giving doesn't work without greedy. As you understand them, it's a circuit. And when you have a circuit, you have circulation of that particular quality and life flows through you in that capacity or dimension. Make sense? So you have all these qualities and then you get a message. And you're like, oh, selfish, asking for what I want and getting what I want, not okay. That goes over here in this pile of I am not. And then you have to create a counterbalance. Being selfish is bad. Really wanting what I want is bad, so let me instead focus on what they want. Being selfless, being the good boy, good girl, caretaker, that goes in this pile of I am. And then you keep going, it's like, creative, I'm not. That goes over in the pile. Until you've separated all the qualities. And when that's complete, now you have your identity, your egoic identity. I am this, I am that, I am, and it could include also unworthy or weak, and or if you're like you experience a weak parent and it really causes pain and fear, you will put weak in the I am not pile, right? That's a lot of the masculine wounding. I am not big boys big boys don't cry. That's weak, okay? I am not that, and so I am strong, right? And sometimes that happens for women where they get the model and the message that being weak or in the feminine is weak, vulnerable, victim. That's not a negative. I want you to understand that. Just like chaos isn't a negative. But if you get the message, maybe you see your mother being weak, or you get the message that she's being abused or repressed or not appreciated, and you're like, I'll never be like that. And so weak and vulnerable goes over here in I am not. And then the feminine has to take on masculine qualities. I am strong, I am independent, I am not dependent. Until eventually you've got your shadow and you've got your ego identity. And then you go out into the world to hold up these qualities. I'm strong, I'm independent, or whatever it is. I'm selfless, I'm a good person, I'm a good guy. And you have to work really, really hard because you're using these to push these down. And all the resistance, as we talked about, to pushing these qualities away is what builds the muscles. So you do develop some strength. You do develop independence. You do develop generosity or selflessness. It's good stuff. But it's coming from a reaction. It's coming from a compulsion. And so it has an expiration date where it starts to become toxic. And then you have to turn around and embrace all of these other qualities, the ones you've been avoiding, the ones that have been driving most of your actions. If I'm stupid is over here, because you can't be stupid. Your dad looked at your report card, saw all A's and one B and said, what's with the B, son? And you're like, okay, well, I better not make a mistake. So stupid or inadequate or wrong goes over here. And now you work most of your life to get as many letters behind your name as possible, to get everything right, or to avoid expanding your territory for fear you might get it wrong. Anybody? So you're working and working and working to get it right, do it right. But it's really, don't get it wrong. Don't be stupid. Don't be inadequate. Don't be a fool, etc. All that energy that takes, you don't have it available to create your life. Eventually, for you in this room especially, you learn that you need to turn and embrace the other side of you. You need to work out the other muscles. You can't be like some of those gym rats that are only building their upper body and they're like, and they got these tiny little legs, right? Or even worse, you can't just be working out the right side, working out the masculine, and you got these big bulging things and all the problems that's gonna cause in your body, right? Or the opposite. Well, that's what we do. That's what we've done. That's why we're walking around emotionally and psychologically with all kinds of scoliosis of the heart and all kinds of ligaments that have been stretched and subluxations of our soul rather than just our spine, because we're all out of alignment. You follow? And so we have to turn and embrace these parts of us. And we have to first recognize where these parts are. So what I want you to do right now is take a moment, look at your statement, your 100% dream that's been evolving, you've been refining it, that dream, that vision of living your life's work and being the change and all of that. That thing you came here to figure out so you could actually do. And you're beginning to have glimpses of it and beginning to refine it and define it, to imagine where you want to be a year from now, what you want to have become and achieved, and the impact that you want to have made in your personal and professional life in terms of how you're showing up and how you're helping others to show up. Feel into your desire for that. Feel how important that is and is becoming increasingly so. Be aware of the fear, the resistance, the seeming obstacles. You're going to begin to answer these questions. If I don't fulfill this, what will be the reason or reasons that I'll give? If I don't fulfill this, if I'm not really going for it, full out and living it, living my life's work over the next year, if I don't fulfill this and really go for this fully, what would be the reason or reasons I would give, that I would tell you, Derek, if you asked me, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you go for it? Oh, because of this. I didn't have the clarity. I didn't have the support. If I do go for this fully, I'm afraid that, and what's the situation you're afraid of? And you can think of, if I go for this fully, I'm afraid that, for that second question, or if I go for this fully and achieve it, I'm afraid that, and what would be the condition? So if I go for it, I'm afraid that this will be the outcome. What I want to just do, take a moment and just real quickly get a few people just share, or maybe just shout out some of the judgments that came up for you. Say it. Loser. Broken.
That my life had no meaning.
So what does that make you? Makes you meaningless?
We've got has-been over here.
Has been. Flaky. What else? Cold and disconnected.
Oh, boo.
What else?
Shout it right out.
A delusional person chasing after clouds.
What kind of a person chases after clouds?
One more time over here.
Hold on. A dreamer. Yeah. What else? Weird. Failure. Too much.
A freak.
A freak.
What was that one back there? A hypocrite.
Undesirable.
Bad person. Undesirable. Abandoned? So what kind of person gets abandoned?
What?
Hold on, listen to this. This is an important distinction. What kind of a person gets abandoned? In your heart, what does that mean about you? If you're abandoned, what does that make you? Unlovable, unworthy. So we're getting down to the abandoned is a condition. Why would you be abandoned? I must be worthless. I must be unlovable. So here's the good news, bad news. It's all true. You are all these things. You are hopeless, greedy, selfish, needy, dependent, dreamers, irresponsible, reckless, feckless. It's true. Let it in. Let it in. The only problem is that you think that's a problem. that there's a misunderstanding of that quality. There is no spot where God is not. The devil was just a fallen angel, a misunderstood angel. So these are fallen parts of you that are misunderstood. But we're not ever again going to do spiritual bypass and try to turn the selfish into selfless, the greedy into giving, turn your frown upside down. No. That's spiritual bypass. That's a form of psychological and emotional violence. And you are once again victimizing, rejecting, judging, and abandoning over and over and over again those parts of you. So can we be done with that today? Can we stop fucking abandoning ourselves? Can we stop rejecting ourselves? Can we stop judging ourselves? And can we have the courage to bring all of ourselves here, not to be vented and vomited, but to be held and understood? Every one of those parts deserves to be seen, held, and understood. The greedy, the selfish, the needy, the sick, the old, the fat, the ugly, the depressed, all of it deserves and must be seen and held and be held in order to become whole again. That's how you heal the world, because that's the world inside of you, and it's full of civil wars and infighting and family feuds and sibling rivalries, and it's all going on inside of you. The war is within. The family dysfunction is within. And then your parents perpetuated it, and then you adopted it, and you created your own version of dysfunction. It's all within us, and we keep doing it. And self-help and self-improvement, in part, does malpractice on us by telling us, don't look at that, you'll attract it. Bullshit. If you know how to look at it, in order to understand it, to love it, to reconcile with it, to integrate it, because if you can't do that within, how in the hell are you going to do it to anybody without? How are you going to look at the world as leaders and teachers and lovers and parents and actually be able to create reconciliation and peace and healing if you can't look at that part of yourself? You get it? Anybody not get it? So did everybody come up with at least one judgment? Stupid, needy, ignorant, weak, dependent, victim, something. Did anybody not come up with some quality that has a charge to it? Y'all got something? Okay. Now, you might have several. What I want you to do, though, is pick the one that has the greatest charge to it. The one that if you really had to admit this is who you are and you were never, ever going to not be that. No amount of self-help is ever going to heal it. You are that. You are a stupid idiot. You are a lousy fat slob. Whatever it is. Whatever that is that you desperately want to try to heal. You're never going to heal it. That's the one you want to pick. It might pop up as a phrase. It could just be stupid idiot, lazy fool, dirtbag, diva bitch, son of a bitch. You let it organically arise because you might have heard it somewhere early on, and that's the one that's going to hit you the most. But we do want to make sure it's a judgment. It's not like I'm ashamed, I'm guilty, I'm afraid. Those are the signals that there's either a shadow or a values conflict, but those aren't the actual shadow themselves. Yes? Guilty? What would you be guilty about? Do you feel guilty about failure? So then the failure would be the shadow, right? Like you might feel afraid, you might feel guilty, you might feel ashamed. Why do I feel guilty? Guilty for what? Because I failed this, because I'm a disappointment to my father, a disappointment to my family, I've shamed my family, whatever. And then you go, okay, so I'm a disappointment, or I'm a failure, or that's the shadow. Flaky, totally. You look pretty flaky. Yeah. So if something's wrong with you, what does that make you? You're flawed, you're broken, you're imperfect, you're garbage. You don't quite look like garbage, you look a little more flawed. Go ahead.
So like not trusting myself, would that be untrustworthy?
It could be, yeah, it could be untrustworthy, or you can say, what don't you trust yourself about? Is there anything more specific?
It's kind of like trusting in myself that I can do what I know I need to do.
Okay, so yeah, it definitely could be, I'm not trustworthy. There is a little more in there, I can feel it, but that can work for sure. Even if it's not perfect, if there's a feeling to it, when you go in and open up, you'll be accessing it. Right here?
What about being a quitter?
Yeah, you're a quitter. You're a quitter. I knew that the first minute I saw you. You're a quitter. How's that feel? Good, you're on it. Did you want to say something? No, I'm not talking to her behind you. You're invisible. So over here, what's yours? No, for real, what's yours? No, I'm serious, actually. What is the one? I'm pointing right to you.
Usually unaware of oneself, so you're so selfish and you hurt others.
So hurting others, you could be hurtful, you could be insensitive, you could be just an idiot, an asshole, a bitch, a jerk, or you could just be shallow, unconscious, or unaware, if that's a word that triggers you. And then irresponsible is definitely a shadow. You're looking for the word or the phrase, as long as it's not like a sentence, that is a judgment that gets you. Every time you walked around, it was just pasted on your back and on your forehead. And you go to the doctors, and that was the first thing they saw. Hi, irresponsible, unconscious bitch. How are you today? How would that feel? Right?
I just felt like fate coming again and again and again, but like behind it seems to be like, again, it's stupid.
Sometimes, we didn't talk about it, but sometimes there is the shadow and there is the mask. And sometimes even the mask we use, we pretend, we act like we're something, but we also have a lot of shame about that. But yeah, it could be fake if that is a charge, a fraud, and also stupid, whichever one has the deepest charge.
I would consider myself irresponsible, failure, and I'm not okay. I would feel humiliated.
Humiliated if you failed. So an irresponsible failure, if they together feel strong to you, does that have a charge? Yeah.
Because I know that's coming from my childhood.
Yeah. Getting the message that you were not doing it right or you were Yeah.
I could never do it.
You can never do it good enough. Yeah. Yeah.
And so whatever I did, it was always the things I didn't do.
That we're focused on. Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why you live in your head so much. Because it's not safe to feel what a irresponsible, miserable failure you are in your body. And I mean, look at the way you combed your hair, and really the part over here, you couldn't have gone over there. I mean, and this shirt, I'm just saying, the button is kind of, it's not correctly. So yeah, so that would be good for you. You're awesome. Isn't it good? I'm like Don Rickles. I get to be up here and just make fun of you all. And you love me even more. Because you know and can feel, obviously, I've looked at these parts of myself. And I mean, there are still parts of me that there's shame and fear and guilt, but I'm at least in communication with them.
I'm Joy.
Hi, Joy.
Hi.
You are.
I am.
You're also sadness.
Yes. I'm unable to come up with a charged judgment for a phrase that I have.
Okay.
The phrase is...
What's the condition you're afraid of happening? That's where we started from.
The condition I'm afraid of happening. Okay, I have, they will find me and kill me.
They'll find you and kill you. Why would they kill you? Because you are what?
So, okay, I came up with who do people find and kill? And it's like an outcast. I'm like, okay, but I am an outcast. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah,
okay.
I don't have a problem. Outcast, pariah.
That doesn't do anything for you.
Mm-mm.
So what are you
like
afraid that they're going to see in you that's going to make them want to kill you?
Oh. Do I have
Just
to answer
be with
that?
it. Don't think about it. Do you have to what?
I said, do I have to answer it?
You do, because this is being streamed live to all those people that want to kill you. So we want to make sure. We want to make sure that they get. We want to be specific so that they can know what they're looking for.
They won't know why they're killing me, right? Okay.
They're paying to watch too. Come on.
Okay, so I feel like they're gonna see like me, like the essence of like who I actually am.
Which is what? What is that you are that's going to make them want to kill you? I want to kill you just a little bit right now, waiting for you to give me the answer.
I'm just like, all I can think of is my name, but
What's that?
Joy, but I'm not really.
Okay, so what are you afraid if you show your life's going to be at stake? You're going to be judged and they're going to want to attack you.
Okay.
The part you've been trying to avoid, run away from, not express, not show, because it's dangerous. What is that?
Something about maybe innocence, maybe cleanliness, something
Or what?
purity. pure, something along the lines of like innocent, pure.
So is it that you're going to be, if you really be yourself, you're going to be
Sweet.
so vulnerable, this pure, just so vulnerable, so that you'll be weak, you'll be undefended? Is there something in there that if you really show up as who you are, you'll have to let go of certain pretenses, certain defenses, things like that? And you're afraid that she'll be too what?
Right.
That she's going to be able to be attacked and killed. What would you call that quality of you?
Right, indefensible, vulnerable.
So, and do you have any sense when you look out at the world or look at other people or saw your mother or father of a similar experience of that where you were angry or scared because they were showing up a certain way?
Because they were showing up?
Yeah, I mean, it made you feel like, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to, or maybe you were showing up a certain way and you got that message early on.
Yes.
What's that?
Yeah, it is vulnerability.
Okay,
Being
so,
able to not defend yourself.
yeah, so what do you think of that person who's not able to defend themselves? Weak?
Yeah, weak. They're weak.
You're
And
weak.
Worthless.
You're weak. How does that feel?
I think we've got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can somebody help her to her chair because she's really weak? We want to make sure she can get down there. Okay. Good job. Thank you, Joy. So close your eyes, take a deep breath into your heart, and just release. And in your inner eye, you see an elevator in front of you. And you approach it and you step inside. The doors are already open. And with some trepidation, you hit the bottom button on the elevator of all the levels. As the doors slowly close, maybe you're a little, maybe I shouldn't, maybe you want to put your hand in there and stop the doors, but you decide no, you take a breath, another breath, and allow yourself to sink down as the doors close, as alarm bells ring. And it's too late to go back as the elevator begins to descend. Going down, 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 all the way down, 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 all the way down. Down to the very bottom. Down to the very bottom. And it comes to a rest at the bottom. Can't go any deeper than this. It's at the very bottom, all the way down. And the doors slowly open. And outside you see your sanctuary, the deepest, safest place inside of you. And it can be whatever is your sanctuary. It can be something indoors, a temple. It can be something outdoors, a garden, a beach, an oasis. Whatever is your sanctuary of solitude and self-reflection. And you step out, perhaps you're barefoot, perhaps not. And if it's outdoors, you feel the air on your skin, maybe the sun on your face. You notice what's around you, any colors, any elements of nature or indoor features. And you notice at a slight distance is your chair or your place to sit, to contemplate, to meditate, and you make your way there now. Continuing to take in your surroundings, seeing, feeling, hearing whatever's present. And you take a seat, and you take a breath. And you invite into this sanctuary your shadow. This shadow that you're working with. And as it appears, you notice where it appears. Maybe it comes out from behind a bookshelf, or from out of the water, or from behind a tree, or out of the woods, or just rises up out of the sand. But it arises, it appears, and you notice what it looks like. Is it a he? Is it a she? Is it an it? You notice how it's appareled, its clothing, its dress, its size, its shape, its features. How it's moving as it moves towards you. And you're safe here. Here you are completely safe to connect with your shadow, to explore it, to create a relationship with it, with her, with him. And the shadow comes towards you and either stands before you or sits in front of you. Take a breath. You've both been waiting for this moment. And feel a sense of actual eager anticipation. You're going to finally get to know this part of you. This such precious part of you that has been misunderstood. Maybe he or she is bedraggled and dirty, having been in a dungeon or been not able to come to the light. And you finally get to meet this part of you direct. And you ask, when did I create you? What was that moment earlier in my life when I created you? And a screen may appear beside the shadow and reveal the memory. You may see it in your mind's eye, or the shadow may begin to describe it. But you're taken to the memory, the moment when something occurred, you saw something, or something was said to you or done to you that caused you to think, this part of me, of life, of a person is not okay. And you put it away, you pushed it down, and you made a decision. This is who I have to be in this life. I can't be that. You decided I can't be a victim, or I can't be a freak, or I can't be unique. I have to be normal. I have to fit in. I have to control things. I have to not be controlling. I have to be easygoing. Whatever it is, you made a decision in that moment. You put something away, you pushed something down, and you propped up something else and decided this is who I have to be to make it in this world. Notice what that is. Notice that moment. Breathe and release. You're safe. The work is being done. You don't have to do it. And now as you begin to understand that this is not your enemy, that this has been your ally all along, that even as you put this part of you in a dungeon, in chains, in the shadows, it was still working for you, causing you to grow in other ways. By rejecting this part of you, you grew other amazing parts of you. And this part of you just kept playing its part faithfully so that you could grow this other part of you. It didn't complain unless it was the complainer, and that was its job. And now you want to ask this part to tell you more. How have you been my ally all along? How have you actually been helping me and assisting me? Show me the ways in my life in which, because you have been a shadow, because I judged you and you played the part of the jerk or the bitch or the stingy or the greedy, because you played that part, I was able to achieve this or develop this or become this. Now give this part of you a chance to do a little humble bragging about how they've been an ally. Let them show you the ways. And let your heart open to them as they do. Wow, it's true. Because of you, I am, many of the things I admire most about myself are because of you playing that part. So what are the traits, qualities, or capacities you've developed as a result of rejecting, denying, or resisting that part of you? What have been the beneficial results of this journey because that shadow played its part. Take a breath. And whatever comes up is what needs to come up, even if it's not verbal or visual. The transmission is happening. Trust that. And now you can ask this part, the shadow, what is your lesson or teaching or blessing for me now? Why are you showing up in my life now? Why are we having this meeting now? Why is it so important? What is your lesson for me? What is your blessing? Why are you showing up? And this is a very important question because you're now inviting them fully into your life, a seat at your table, asking, what do you need from me? You've been trying to get that part of you to do something or stop doing something your whole life. Now you're saying, what do you need from me, my dear shadow? What do you need me to do or stop doing? Me to be? What do you need from me so that you feel seen and heard, validated, integrated, so you can take your place in a constructive way in my life? Not what do I need to do to change you from selfish to selfless or whatever, but what do you need me to do or stop doing or do differently so that I can understand you and you can take your rightful place in my life? Listen, the shadow knows. He or she has wisdom for you. Then what would my life look like? Then what would be possible for me? Don't think this. Ask the question and open. Let the shadow tell you, or a screen appear, or it to appear in your mind's eye. If I was to allow you to become fully integrated and honor your deepest needs, what would my life look like then? What would my vision look like then? What would my life's work look like then? What could be possible then? Take another breath. You're doing great. And now, because you've been thinking this shadow is the enemy and now it's the ally, and you've been seeing it as a curse and now you see it as a gift, increasingly, ask this shadow for a gift. The shadow has been waiting to give you gifts. And the shadow gives you a beautiful box. And you open the box and you look inside. And you see what's in there. And you ask, what is the meaning of this gift? What does it mean? Maybe it comes to you instantly, maybe the shadow says it. Take another breath. And then stand with this shadow. Thank this part of you. If you're able to, maybe even bow to this part of you. Honor this part of you. And if you're able, embrace this part of you. It's time to end the war. It's time to end the war with yourself, with the sons of Abraham, with the daughters of Abraham, with all of the children inside of you, with all of the parts of you. Let this moment symbolize a peace treaty in the beginning of a beautiful friendship, the beginning of peace and prosperity and possibility in the world within you, so that it can ultimately be in the world outside of you, as you embrace this part of you. And maybe you whisper, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry I misunderstood you. Please forgive me. And you hear this part of you say back, I don't have to forgive you. I love you. I've always been here for you. Just waiting. And as you embrace, this part of you gets smaller and smaller, the shadow. Smaller and smaller. Until it fits in the palm of your hand. And just thank that part of you and tell that part of you that you're with her now. You're with him now. And he or she is with you now. There's always a place in your heart. Take another breath. And you get up from that place and you make your way back to the elevator. You step inside and you just look out over your sanctuary, knowing you can always return here again and connect with these parts of you. And the doors close and the elevator begins to rise higher and higher, higher and higher, all the way up, 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 all the way to the top. And it comes to a rest ever so gently, and the doors open, and the light of a new day shines on your face, and you step out and take one more deep breath of integration. And let out a sigh. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes and just take a couple minutes. Awesome. So, yes? Some nice heart openings, some reconnecting with parts of yourself. Maybe it's a little heartbreak and heartache as you open up and get cracked open and reconnect. It's all good. You're doing great work.